Good afternoon. Welcome back to Passionate World Talk Radio Network, a wholly owned subsidiary of Global Media Network LLC. Educate, enlighten, entertain. And on today's episode as Scam DamNation with your host Lillian Cauldwell, I hate to tell you this, folks, but scams are just not political, financial, or even romantic. They have now made their way into the job market. OMG, what's a normal person to do? Well, I found an article to help us all out. So when you are looking for a job, for whatever the reasons, and there are a plethora of them these days with inflation, divorce, spouses dying, accidents, death, sickness, whatever the reason, you need to know the signals, how to protect yourself, and what happens after you are scammed, and more importantly, how do you protect yourself? But before we jump into the pool of scams, damnation with jobs, I want to give a huge shout out to Germany and Council Bluffs, Iowa, who keep on returning to our website in vast numbers. Just to give you an idea, within 2 days, we had over 1,600 people come to the website just for all of our programs, the new ones, and yes, the old ones from like 4 or 5 years ago, which just proves the point. It's content that makes or breaks a good podcast. Now, for the rest of the program, we may not have heard about job scams, but you need to be aware that they are out there. So if you're on the job hunt or you're looking for a new career, this is what you need to look out for to protect yourself from the bad guys. And the bad guys are not always Darth Vader or Dragon or a serial killer. A lot of the time, it's those scammers from overseas that makes your life so interesting. When you were looking for a job, it puts you in a very vulnerable position. Some people need to work and bring in that paycheck, while others are just going to work while their kids go to school between 9 and 3. Others need to get out there because all of a sudden they're bereft of a spouse, or maybe they've been divorced, or somebody just walked out on them, or disappeared, vanished. For whatever the reason, you want to impress your prospective employer. So what does this mean to you? Well, scammers love taking advantage of that by getting you to share your sensitive personal information under the guise that it's important to that job that you're potentially hoping will be awarded to you. So what are some of the tricks of the trade that scammers try using on you? Fake job listings on social media, as well as legitimate job websites. Ask candidates to pay a fee to complete their application or get started in the role, said a well-known job company. Indeed. Now, in the old days, there were agencies, particularly among the temporary agencies, that did ask you to pay an upfront fee for finding that job. But it isn't the same thing because all the employment companies were doing that. But not all employment or organizations or business companies are doing that, and you need to be aware. In other words, you need to do your homework, or what I like to call check your resources. The first place would be with the Better Business Bureau because they list generally the legit and the not so legit companies. Work from home jobs. The scammers promise flexibility and easy income. Come on. If it's too easy, you know there's something you're waiting for the other boot to drop. But instead, you end up paying for starter kits, training, or certifications that are useless, said the FTC. Further, quote, you might also find that your credit card is charged without your permission, or you get caught up in a fake check scam. As you know, you're only liable up to $50 on your charge card, but many of those charge cards can ask you if you do not recognize a charge, then you can dispute it. Now, they prefer that you call the company that you're disputing the charge from, and they give you a little form to fill out that you did ABC 1, 2, 3. Yes, you have to do your homework. Always. Number one rule, always. Job placement and career consulting offers. Another type of job scam occurs when a person posing as a career consultant reaches out to praise your resume. Indeed says, in this situation, they may either offer to improve your resume themselves or refer you to an alleged expert in exchange for a fee. Ding, 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 ding. Your red warning flag bell just went off. What are some of the tip-offs? A job posting may be a scam. For starters, said Money from Money Magazine, be skeptical of any job opportunity you encounter online that feels suspiciously easy or lucrative, such as jobs that claim they'll pay you upfront before any work has been performed, as well as listings that promise high pay with minimal hiring requirements. End of quote. So what else? Another rule of thumb is to think twice if you're being asked to, quote, send payment as part of an application. It's not like you're applying to college where you do have to send out an application fee to the administrator's office. Or if you purchase or pushed to purchase, to share a lot of that info before you've even spoken with a representative of the company. Money ads. Pay attention to the person you're engaging with is communicating and from where. Another big warning sign that a job may be illegitimate is unprofessional communication, said Indeed, such as inconsistencies in grammar, syntax, and how the employer or recruiter communicates with you in writing. Additionally, Money suggests legitimate recruiters generally contact candidates from their work accounts, which means the company's domain name is in the email address. Biggest question, how can you avoid getting scammed? So keep these tips in mind during your job search to ensure that you do not lose precious time when dealing with a potential scam while searching for your next opportunity. 1, don't give out personal information until you sign an offer and start the job. In fact, don't give out any personal information until you are sufficiently appraised of who that company is and whether they're legit. And check out everything you possibly can on that company and or person. Yes, you might lose the job, but you also will probably keep a hold on your purse. Something to consider. You will eventually have to, down the line, provide information like your bank account number if you're having it transfer into your account instead of getting a paycheck for direct deposit, or your Social Security number for tax purposes. This only becomes necessary once you sign an employer's offer and start your new job, Indeed says. If you're asked for that information before that point, take this as a sign to avoid this company in favor of a real job opportunity. Do your own research about prospective job opportunities. If you come across a job posting or receive an offer that seems enticing, check into it. Check into the company, including its website, location, and other staff members. You should even look up the name of the company or the person who's hiring you, plus the words scam, review, or complaint to see if anything comes up. The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, suggests don't pay for a job. Read my lips. Your job pays you. As they tell beginner authors, money flows in, not out. Keep that in mind. Honest employers, including the federal government, despite what you may think, will never ask you to pay for a job, said the FTC. And anyone who does is a scammer. So, my friends, what were you waiting for all during this time to get to the end? You need to let us know at pwrnetworkllc@gmail.com if you've ever been scammed to find a job or transfer to a new job and it doesn't quite turn out the way it was promised. What the retail world says, bait and switch. Let us know or text us at sorry, I'm drawing a blank for my cell phone. I will need to check it. Hold on. Thank you. 484-364-1032. You can put anonymous in if it makes you feel better. And put down where you're from, where the scam took place, and an approximate general amount of how much money you were scammed out of. This is important. You want to save all those young college graduates from doing the same thing that you did because you did not take the time to do your homework, what the adult world calls research. Put in the name of the company, put review or scam, and see what happens. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Job Scams with your host, Lillian Cauldwell. This episode was sponsored by How to Train for a Podcast course. And it includes everything, A through Z, 1, 2, 3, small letter A, B, C. Everything you've always wanted to know. Sponsored by PWR Talk Radio. Check us out on https://educate.passionateworldtalkradio.com/masterclass and read all about it. And then let me know how you want to proceed. And also by Ruby, RUBI.ai, artificial intelligence. It does everything you've always wanted to do, except perhaps babysit while you run out to the grocery store or to the library or on a hot date. It does music. It does audio, video. It does your research for you. It saves you time and going from website to website. Check it out. Go to https://ESC73 try, T-R-Y, Ruby, R-U-B-I .ai, and see what one of the sharks from the Shark Tank, Mark Cuban, has to say. You won't regret it. I promise you. Thank you very much for listening, and keep on listening. Have an awesome day.